Hi guys, it's me, just Leonardson again, and for this video, I will be dedicating to Women's History Month in March 2026. I shall be talking about the third episode of Season 1 of this wonderful legendary show about the First Lady of Comedy, I Love Lucy, starring Lucy Wall and Desi Arnaz. And the name of this episode is called Be a Pal. Now, this is, I think, one of the most relatable topics of this type of show about a married couple. And that the one person in the couple thinks that the other one is getting disinterested in hanging out with that person, talking to that person, or communicating with that person. And I find it very funny that Lucy tries to get advice from a book. With the marriage counseling doctor. Much in the same way as they have Dr. Lipschitz in the Rugrats cartoon, in giving advice and knowledge about babies of all things, whereas he turned out to be a fraud. Kind of like in this episode. So anyway, they have the one thing where they open up with Lucy and Ricky having breakfast together in the kitchen. So, turns out that Ricky is very much into the newspaper, which I'm sure was very common for men to be into the papers in like the 40s and 50s and maybe even 60s. Nowadays, it'd be more like television. Or in the future, it'd probably be into something else, like holographic TV or something. Maybe some kind of 3D movies or something like that. I don't think there's any problem with that, by the way. Anyway, the problem is that he always ignores his wife, and she thinks it's because he doesn't find her interesting anymore. It can be problem with taste, but besides that, one of the other common things in the movie, in the show, is that Ricky does things without reading his paper. For example, he ends up with a piece of toast being made for him, and he catches it without reading the newspaper. Like, he catches it without ever blinking from the paper, and that's funny to me. And Lucy can make a whole conversation where she's yelling at him for whatever reason, and he's still ignoring her and looking at the paper. Which is really hilarious. Now, she's also in pajamas, which I don't know if that's really a thing nowadays, that women wear pajamas at breakfast time. Whatever. He's already dressed in a suit, so I don't know why that is. I don't know why he's dressed in a suit, she's dressed in pajamas still. You would think that in breakfast, he would be not so dressed up to go work right now, but whatever. So anyway, she consults with her best friend Ethel about it, and it turns out that she consulted a book for it. I forgot the name of the title of the book, but it's something like how to keep your honeymoon going, or something rather like that. So anyway, the first lesson is to do stuff that reminds you of his mother, and with be like a mommy figure to your husband and stuff, reminding me of his mother. So Lucy originally, the first message is that it's your fault, Lee. It's your fault your man is not in love with you still. You have to change your ways. You have to become pretty for him. Which I don't agree with whatsoever. A woman is beautiful 24 hours a day to him, to her husband, with or without makeup, with or without a fancy dress, with or without any type of fake hair plugs or whatever the case is, extensions or whatever. So Lucy tries to doll herself up for him and everything, but that really doesn't work too well. But he still ignores her. So the next one on the list is to try to be a pal for your husband, and she takes that as being very much into poker, which he's into for some reason. Him and Fred, two other guys are there playing poker. I don't know if they actually are the current characters or not, but it's still funny nonetheless. And she goes to the poker game with her husband under ethical tutelage. She gives advice on how to play poker, and the advice that she gives her is not very good, because she's very loosey goosey, if you will, with the cards and with the rules and stuff. She doesn't know what beats what, and what counts as a win and all this stuff. So when Lucy shows up to play poker with the boys, she's over there with the visor on, the old-fashioned I forgot what they call it, like an old deal uniform with like a big sleeves and the cards that are like strung together and stuff to like do card tricks and stuff, like shuffling and things like that. It's pretty fun. That and the fact that you can't play cards with a name. She shuffles left, right, every which way, and then she does she plays around with poker chips like a little kid. Not expecting her to be like a professional or anything like that, but have a little bit of decorum when it comes to playing cards. Follow what the guys are doing, and do something like that. Don't just play like, look, I got a queen, got a king, I got this, I got that. And be a little more quiet about it. Not only that, but she's extremely lucky. Really lucky. Like in the I think 3 hand that she played in the game, she got like 2 full houses. That's incredibly rare, especially for someone that knows what they're doing with the game. And this is actually one of the first times that we actually see Fred merge in something other than the white shirt and pants, with or without the suspenders. He's wearing a tropical shirt. And it's funny because she's over there playing with the men over there, and it's like poked her head into the door. She's like, oh no, I'm not with her. So even she's embarrassed by Lucy's performance. And it's funny, at the end of the little skit there, they chose Lucy won a bunch of money and stuff. She really didn't deserve to win that. And she said, yeah, but could you just tell me one more time what beats what? So then he said, 2 pair beats a pair, and then 3 of a kind beats 2 pair, and etc., etc., etc. So as the camera pans out, I see all 5 people playing the game. There's over there, and they reveal each person playing the game with her. Each man is over there, joining in with the conversation about what beats what, to the point that when they get done with the whole game, everyone is saying like, oh, awesome, blah blah blah, I'm full of kind and this and that. So you would say, haha, that's what I got. So funny story. When mother put blackjack with us for the first time at the casino, she was bored to death. I mean, we expect you to get a person that's new to the game and not interested in the game whatsoever. Of course they're gonna be bored to death. But Lucy, she takes everything with gusto because she wants to be with her husband and his friend, which is nice. So then the next rule after that one fails is to always do stuff that reminds your husband of his mother or his home. In this case, Ricky's home in Cuba. This is where it gets kind of racist a little bit. Because at first she tried to do the famous thing where she just trying to fold a napkin that looked like a diaper. Even though I'm sure that Ricky's a little bit too old for that at this point in life. And then they the whole place up to look like Cuba. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's some of it kind of cringy, especially now, because in one part they have Lucy, I think, like coming around, doing the La Pepper song from one of the old Chapman Dream shorts, and with Ethel playing a guy there, and I don't know if they do this in Cuba. I know there's a Mexican thing where they have like men in sombreros taking siestas. So I don't get why they came up with that for Cuba. I mean, surely I would think that Desi Arnaz would say yay or nay to anything that's not Cuban related. So I guess it's okay if he says it's alright. In any case, they do that, and then they do various dances with her and him as doing Cuban dance, and he doesn't recognize her until she tells him who she is, and he didn't bring a mule or a donkey into the apartment. I don't know how that works out. I don't know how you can bring a farm animal into an apartment like that in New York City. But he did anyway. So anyway, I don't know if it's a very good Carmen and Cuban, and then they have a golden bunch of bananas, And yeah, but they have the pump farms in the background and all that. That's pretty nice. And but yeah, I enjoyed that. Then at the end of the short, they showed that Ricky is not upset with his wife. He is not tired of her. In fact, that's the thing that he loves about her, because she's so different from the women they used to know in Cuba. To which Lucy said, who you know in Cuba? This turned me joyous. I like this episode because first they showed that Ricky is kind of disinterested to the point that the only way that Lucy can get his attention is just like the paper that he's reading on fire. But that worked out pretty well. But yeah, this is like pretty funny. Got very cringeworthy moments with the thing where they said, if your man's uninterested, it's your fault for being lazy and unglamorous enough for him. And the racist thing about the Cuba and Mexican thing is kind of wrong. But otherwise, I enjoyed this episode. And thank you for watching my video on the third episode of season 1 of the fabulous show called Be a Pal. I would like for my love interest to find interest in my gymming, my video games, or reading or something else like that. But probably talking about my disability and such. On my YouTube channel, for example, I did this for Women's History Month because she is the first leading lady of a TV show I can think of. The first lady of comedy. So yeah, I give this episode my happy face Liverpool. I'm sure that I'm going to see many more episodes like that in season 1. And if you like what you hear and you want to see more on my channel and such, then like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you like, you can comment me for future stuff by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. Or you can follow me on Twitter or X if you prefer, call that at PNelsonPro. You can also get me an email at jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. I salute all you I Love Lucy fan boys and girls out there in comedy and everything else is fun too. And stop from 52 in black and white. So peace out, my brothers and sisters. See you in the next video, all you girls and guys in Interland. Sayonara, adios, ciao ciao.